It's a peaceful afternoon in the suburbs when 12-year-old Lily first spots the pit bull pacing outside her yard. His frame is thin, ribs visible under his matted fur, but what strikes Lily is his eyes. Soft, amber eyes filled with an emotion she can't quite place. Although Lily has heard countless warnings about stray dogs, especially pit bulls, she feels something different about this one. There's no aggression in his movements, only a quiet desperation, like he's searching for something. She watches him, entranced by his presence, until a strange thought occurs to her. What if he's lost? What if he just needs someone to help him? Against her better judgment and the voice of her mother's warnings in her head, she rushes downstairs and out the front door. The pit bull looks at her, curious but still cautious. Her heart races as she stands in front of the gate. Slowly she reaches for the latch. With a soft creak, the gate swings open. The pit bull freezes, his eyes locked on hers. For a moment, Lily wonders if she's made a huge mistake. But instead of running or growling, the pit bull simply stares. His tail gives the faintest wag. Encouraged, Lily steps back, allowing him to enter. The pit bull steps through the gate with careful, deliberate movements, still watching her. A connection forms between them in that moment, one that will change everything. Lily's heart races as she watches the pit bull walk into her yard, his movements slow and cautious. She's unsure of what to expect, but he doesn't act aggressive or afraid. Instead, the pit bull sniffs around, inspecting the area as if trying to make sense of his new surroundings. Despite his rough appearance, there's something gentle about him, something that tugs at Lily's heart. Not wanting to scare him off, she sits quietly on the porch steps, watching as the pit bull explores. After a while, she whispers softly, "It's okay, boy. You're safe now." She reaches out her hand tentatively, offering it for him to sniff. The pit bull pauses, then walks over, his cold nose brushing her fingers. His eyes meet hers again, and in that moment, Lily feels an unspoken connection between them. Just then, the front door opens, and her mother steps out onto the porch. "Lily, what are you doing out here?" she asks, her voice sharp with concern. Her gaze quickly falls on the pit bull, and her expression changes to one of alarm. "Lily, get away from that dog!" Lily's heart skips a beat. She stands up, but instead of running, she looks at her mother calmly. "Mom, it's okay. He's not dangerous. I think he's just lost." Her mother's eyes narrow in fear. "You don't know that, Lily. Get inside now." The pit bull watches the exchange, his ears twitching, but there's no sign of aggression. Lily takes a deep breath. "I can feel it, Mom. He's not going to hurt me." Lily's mother stands frozen in the doorway, her face pale with worry. "Lily, pit bulls can be dangerous, especially strays. Please step away." Her voice wavers with fear, but Lily doesn't move. The pit bull remains calm, his amber eyes still fixed on Lily, as if waiting for her next move. There's no growl, no sign of aggression, just a quiet presence that Lily finds reassuring. She takes a step closer to her mother, her voice soft but determined. "Mom, he hasn't done anything wrong. He's not like the stories people tell." Her mother glances nervously at the dog, unsure of what to do. "But how can you be sure? We can't take risks with a stray dog. I'll call animal control. They'll know what to do." Lily's heart sinks at the thought of the dog being taken away. "But Mom, what if they just put him down? He's not dangerous, I promise. Can't we at least give him a chance?" Her mother sighs, her face softening as she looks at Lily's pleading eyes. "All right, we'll call the animal shelter and see if they can help. But if that dog shows any signs of aggression, he's going. Do you understand?" Lily nods eagerly, relief flooding her chest. "Thank you, Mom. I'll make sure he's okay." As her mother goes back inside to make the call, Lily sits back down near the pit bull, who lies down in the grass, resting his head on his paws. She smiles, feeling that, somehow, they've passed an important test of trust. But little does she know, this is only the beginning of their journey together. Within an hour, a van from the local animal shelter pulls into the driveway. Lily watches nervously as a woman in a uniform steps out, carrying a leash and a few supplies. "Hi, I'm Karen from the shelter," she says with a warm smile. "I hear you've got a visitor." Lily leads her to the yard where the pit bull is resting. Karen approaches slowly, speaking in a soft, calming voice. To Lily's surprise, the dog doesn't seem alarmed. He lets Karen get close, and soon she's petting him, checking his fur and teeth. He's malnourished and has clearly been out here for a while, Karen says, gently examining him. But he's surprisingly friendly for a stray. Lily's mother stands nearby, arms crossed, watching the interaction closely. Does he have a chip? She asks, concerned. Karen shakes her head after scanning the dog. No chip, no tags. He's a stray with no identification, which makes it harder to find his owner. She sighs, running her fingers through the dog's fur. Unfortunately, our shelter is full right now. We could put him on a waiting list, but... But what? Lily asks, her heart pounding in her chest. Karen looks at her with sympathy. It could take weeks, maybe even longer, and in the meantime, he could end up back on the streets. Lily looks at her mother, panic rising in her chest. Mom, we can't let that happen. Can't we foster him just until we find him a permanent home? Her mother hesitates, looking at the pit bull lying peacefully on the blanket. We'll talk about it, Lily. Let's see what your dad thinks. Later that evening, Lily's father comes home after a long day at work, unaware of the new arrival in their yard. He barely has time to set down his briefcase before Lily tugs him outside, bubbling with excitement. Dad, you have to see something. He follows her into the backyard, where the pit bull is lying under the tree. His father's face turns from curiosity to concern as soon as he sees the dog. Lily, what is going on? Why is there a pit bull in our yard? Lily quickly explains everything. The stray dog, the shelter's visit, and the suggestion to foster him. Her father listens carefully, his brow furrowed in thought. I don't know, Lily. Pit bulls can be unpredictable, and fostering a dog is a big responsibility, especially a stray. But Dad, he's not like that, Lily protests, her voice filled with urgency. He's calm and sweet, and he hasn't done anything to hurt anyone. He just needs a place to stay for a while. I'll take care of him, I promise. Her father looks at the pit bull again, watching as the dog rests peacefully, showing no signs of aggression. He exchanges a glance with Lily's mother, who nods slightly. All right, he finally says, a small smile forming on his face. But if we do this, Lily, you're responsible for him. That means feeding him, walking him, and making sure he's taken care of. Lily's heart leaps with joy. I will, I promise. Thank you, Dad. As her father heads inside, Lily kneels beside the pit bull, stroking his fur gently. Looks like you're staying with us for a while, buddy, she whispers. The pit bull's tail gives a small wag, as if he understands. The next morning, Lily wakes up earlier than usual, eager to see her new friend. As she rushes outside, she finds the pit bull lying on the porch, waiting patiently. His amber eyes brighten when he sees her, and his tail thumps softly against the wooden floor. Good morning, buddy, she says with a smile, kneeling beside him to give him a good scratch behind the ears. The name Buddy just seems to fit him perfectly. She quickly heads inside, grabbing a bowl of leftover chicken and some water. As she places the food in front of Buddy, he eats slowly, almost as if he's unsure whether it's really for him. Lily watches with a mixture of joy and sadness, realizing just how tough things must have been for him on the streets. Don't worry, Buddy. You won't go hungry here, she whispers softly. Over the next few days, Lily takes her promise to care for Buddy seriously. She walks him around the neighborhood, introduces him to the neighbors, some more wary than others, and spends hours playing with him in the yard. To everyone's surprise, Buddy is calm, affectionate, and eager to please, proving over and over again that he's nothing like the vicious stereotype associated with pit bulls. As the days go by, Buddy seems to become more comfortable with his new home. He starts following Lily everywhere, his loyalty becoming more apparent with each passing day. Wherever Lily goes, Buddy is always by her side, watching her with those warm amber eyes. But despite how well things are going, there's still one lingering question that keeps Lily up at night. What if Buddy's real owner comes looking for him? What will happen then? One afternoon, while Lily and Buddy are out for their usual walk, they run into an elderly neighbor, Mrs. Green, who stops them with a puzzled look. Is that your dog, Lily? She asks, peering closely at Buddy. Lily hesitates for a moment before replying. Well, we're fostering him for now. He was a stray, and we're trying to find out if he belongs to someone. Mrs. Green furrows her brow and bends down to get a better look at Buddy. You know, He looks an awful lot like a dog that used to live a few blocks from here. I remember seeing him with a man. Tall, always wore a leather jacket. But that was months ago, and then the dog just disappeared. Could be the same one. Lily's heart skips a beat. Could Buddy have a previous owner nearby? As much as she's grown attached to him, the thought of reuniting him with someone who might have lost him tugs at her heart. "Do you know where the man lives?" she asks. Mrs. Green shakes her head. "He moved away a while back, and I don't know where to. But I remember the dog. It was friendly, just like this one." After thanking Mrs. Green, Lily walks back home with Buddy, her mind racing. If Buddy had a previous owner, where are they now? And if they don't come back, will Buddy get to stay with her? The uncertainty gnaws at her, but for now she pushes the thoughts aside and focuses on enjoying the time she has with her new best friend. As they walk back, Lily glances down at Buddy. "I wonder what your story is," she murmurs. Buddy looks up at her as if he understands. As the weeks go by, Lily and Buddy become inseparable. Every morning, Buddy is waiting for her by the door, ready for their daily walks. They explore the neighborhood together, and Lily feels a sense of comfort and protection with Buddy by her side. His presence brings a calmness to her life that she never expected. One evening, as the sun sets, Lily and Buddy sit together on the porch, watching the sky turn shades of orange and pink. Lily absent-mindedly strokes Buddy's fur, lost in thought. "I can't imagine life without you now," she says softly. Buddy leans into her, his warm body pressed against her side, as if to say he feels the same way. Despite their growing bond, Lily can't shake the feeling that something is still missing. The thought of Buddy's past and the possibility that his former owner might come looking for him lingers in the back of her mind. She's come to love Buddy like a family member, and the idea of losing him is too painful to bear. One afternoon, while Lily is at school, her parents decide to take Buddy to the vet for a checkup. The visit is routine, but they also hope to gather more information about his health and possibly his past. The vet examines Buddy thoroughly, confirming that he's healthy, but in need of more weight and regular meals. After the visit, the vet makes a suggestion that surprises Lily's parents. "If you plan to keep him, you should consider registering him as your dog," the vet says. "That way, if he gets lost again, he'll be easier to track." When Lily's parents share this with her later that day, her heart soars with hope. Could Buddy really become a permanent part of their family? Just when things seem to be settling into a peaceful routine, an unexpected event shakes everything up. One afternoon, while Lily and Buddy are playing in the yard, a loud commotion erupts from the street. Lily looks up to see a man walking aggressively toward their house. His face is red with anger, and his eyes are locked on Buddy. "Hey, that's my dog!" the man yells, pointing at Buddy. He's tall, with a rough demeanor, and Lily's heart sinks. Could this be Buddy's former owner? Lily's parents rush outside, alarmed by the shouting. Her father steps forward, trying to calm the situation. "Sir, can you explain what's going on?" "That's my dog," the man repeats, his voice growing louder. "I lost him a while back, and now I find him here? You people have no right to keep him." Lily's heart races as she watches the scene unfold. Buddy stands close to her, his body tense but not aggressive. The man's eyes are filled with a mix of anger and something else, something that makes Lily uneasy. Her father remains calm. "If this is your dog, we can talk about it rationally. But we found him as a stray, and there was no identification on him. We've been taking care of him." The man steps closer, his voice dropping to a low growl. "That's because someone stole his collar. But he's mine, and I want him back." Lily clutches Buddy's fur, fear gripping her chest. She looks at her parents, unsure of what to do. Could this man really be Buddy's owner? And if he is, does that mean they'll have to give him up? Tension hangs thick in the air as Lily's father tries to reason with the man. "If this is your dog, we'll need proof. We can't just hand him over without knowing for sure." The man glares, clearly frustrated. "I don't need proof. I know my own dog. He used to follow me everywhere. He was loyal, but one day he just disappeared. Now I find him here? I'm not leaving without him." Lily's heart pounds in her chest. She looks at Buddy, who is standing protectively by her side. His posture is tense, but he doesn't move, almost as if he's waiting to see how the situation will unfold. Her mother steps forward, her voice gentle but firm. We understand you might have lost a dog, but we've been caring for him for weeks now. He's part of our family. If you want to claim him, we'll need to do this the right way. Maybe contact the authorities or show some kind of proof. The man's face twists in frustration. For a moment, Lily fears he might lash out, but then he lets out a heavy sigh. Fine, I'll be back. But mark my words, you're not keeping him. With that, he turns and storms off, leaving a cloud of uncertainty in his wake. As the man disappears down the street, Lily kneels beside Buddy, tears welling in her eyes. What if he really is your owner? She whispers. What if I have to say goodbye? Buddy leans against her, offering silent comfort. Her parents exchange worried glances, knowing that this might not be over yet. They've grown to love Buddy as much as Lily has, and the thought of losing him feels unbearable. But one thing is clear. They'll fight for Buddy no matter what.